Hey guys, hey everybody. Hey, Sam, right? I bet it's Sam. Hi, Sam. Hi, Lisa. Hey guys. Hey everyone. Say something in the chat so I know someone's here. So happy to be here, you guys. We're here to learn about tarot again. Learn how to read tarot again on your own. So you don't have to go outside for your answers. You can find them yourself. Hi, Sam. Hi. How are you? How is everyone? I think it's just you and me right now, sister. I saw Lisa here a minute ago. Oh, nope. I see people popping in. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy you're all here. We're doing the Judgment Card today. Hi, Garnet. Oh, long time no see. So nice to see you. Hi, Lisa. Yay. We're doing the Judgment Card today, you guys. This is card number 20. This is actually class number 21, but card number 20, Judgment. And yeah, so you know what? Before I start, I'm going to call in the guides and all the protections and the angels and the ancestors of the love and light. I'm going to use this one and ask for some angelic protection to be placed around us as we connect to the God source energy. And only beings of love and light and high vibrational frequency are allowed to interact with us today. I'm asking for that angelic protection to be extended out to anyone and everyone who is here or comes later and rewatches. We are divinely protected and safe within the God source energy always. So be it and so it is. All right, guys, you know, I forgot to do that at the last class. So, and it really bugged me afterwards. Dean will be soon. Oh, good. Yay. I'm so happy. So happy. So you guys, I kind of messed up. I was going to come Friday to do a crystal sale, but I couldn't because I ended up having to do an emergency echocardiogram test on my heart, which came out good. So there was a bit of a concern just because my blood pressure has been really super high. And the doctor, one of the many doctors that I've seen, thought that he heard possible, hi Sue, thought that he heard a possible like leaky valve happening, which scared the bejeebies out of me. I ended up having to go in and have a stress test, which was good. And then they did an echocardiogram, which is basically an ultrasound, and it was good. Hi, Sam. Hi, Garnet. Hi, Sue. Hi, Lisa. I'm so happy to see you guys. Connecting to your energy feels good. So anyways, needless to say, I was stuck at the University of Washington on Friday having that test done, but it was really good results. So I'm glad to have that cleared and out of the way. Yeah, still I'm still waiting on my crystal harp, you guys. It is on its way. It is on its way. It's supposed to be here between the 4th and the 5th. So I'm so excited. I am so excited. I can't wait. I'm going to be coming on here to use it and do live healing sessions because I'll be healing myself at the same time. I'm going to be doing it all the time. I just cannot wait for it to get here. So I'm still kind of struggling with some energy levels. I definitely was given, well, they say, I'm not going to claim it. I will never claim it, but they say you've got the same thing, 27th. Oh, geez, Louise. Yes. I'm not going to claim it. I will never claim a diagnosis. I will never claim a diagnosis. But they say that they did verify in their opinion, I am in a MS relapse. There's 2 active lesions. There's one in the middle of my back, which that's scary. It's causing, it travels the nerve pathways. So it's causing like some numbness in my hands, weakness in my arms a little bit. And then there's one on my neck. So you see I'm wearing this patch thing on my neck. It goes all the way around. It's lidocaine. It just numbs it so that I don't get the pains coming down. That's what was causing the pains in my chest, not my heart. So this disc, which is actually slipped out, and apparently I did that. Hi, Dean. Hi, Dean. Apparently I did that several years ago when I fell and broke my shoulder. I was so concerned about the fact that I just had a hip replacement and that I broke my shoulder. I didn't even think about my neck. So anyways, yeah, so there's that. So it ruled out my heart being an issue. Hallelujah for that one. Anyways, yeah. Think they want to put a stent in. For you, Garnet, you're getting a stent put in your heart? My dad had that done. My dad, and that's another reason why they were worried about my heart, for genetic reasons, because my dad has a collapsed. This is secondhand information I'm receiving from my younger sister. I haven't spoken to my father in 25 years, but according to her, he has like a prolapsed valve that started out as a leaky valve, so it might run in the family. So they checked me for that too, but they said my heart is good. I have a good heart. So that made me really happy. The neck thing, yeah, they want to do a surgery. I'm not excited about that. I'm not really actually in agreement with that yet. I'm going to go see a chiropractor and see if there's some alternative. I don't want a surgery on my neck. So I'm going to see if there's an alternative. Okay, Garnet, you will definitely be. Where's my pen? I got to write this down or I will forget. I want to make sure that I stick you on my prayer list that day. 27th, you said. Garnet. So possible stent placement. All right. All right, brother. I got you. I got you on my prayer list. It's a worry. Yes. Okay. Okay. So if we can collectively send Garnet some loving energy right now, just lift his vibe. I'm asking for all of my guides and angels and protectors. I'm asking for my son to step in right now, which he's been here all day. He's been messing with me all day. He keeps moving things, but anyways, let's collectively send that to Garnet. Lift his vibration up so he can have the best possible outcome for his highest good. Yes. Okay, guys. Anyways, the crystals. Oh, Garnet, thank you, sweetheart. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate that. The crystals, though, the crystals that are associated with, the only one I couldn't get a good specimen to show you guys is the Kyanite. This is the only piece of Kyanite I have, and it's very light in color. There's hardly any blue to it. So Kyanite's one of them. I'm going to go to my notes here real quickly. And it is it helps with awakening your intuition, past life recall, and spiritual rebirth. Okay. Then we've got the black obsidian, and I grabbed one that had some quartz in with it. So the black obsidian is for any shadow work and spiritual cleansing, which will make sense when we start talking about the Judgment card. It'll make sense. And then we've got angelite or celestite. A lot of times they're taken for the same thing. Very, very, very similar energies. They do the very similar frequencies. And this is for communication with the higher realms, with your guides, with the angels. And then the amethyst. And the amethyst is for clarity, intuition. Amethyst is also, and you don't hear this much, amethyst is also for forgiveness. So if you're having a hard time letting go of something, and you feel like that there's somebody who needs some forgiveness, or you yourself feel like you want someone to give you some forgiveness, amethyst is a great stone to work within that energy for sure. Okay, I think I got them all right. And then of course there's the clear quartz, and that's for amplification always. And clear quartz is also the crown chakra. And with the Judgment card, the crown chakra is being called into account. Okay. So let me just check in here with the chat. Sam has good feelings. I love that. Oh. Why do I feel like we've already done these? The Judgment? The Judgment? I don't know why you feel that way, sweetheart. This is our first time doing Judgment. Last time it was the Sun, which is my favorite card in tarot. So we've got the Judgment and then the World, and then we're done with the major arcana. I can't believe it. We should have probably already been done with it a while ago. But the Judgment card, let me find one here. I have a little pile of them here. So again, my camera is the way it is. Dang it. This one actually has really cool movement to it. You can't see it. This is the Fable Makers Animated Tarot, and when I have better, different lighting, it's so cool because as she's blowing the trumpet, the angels, she's blowing the trumpet down, it like sends out rays of energy. And of course, yeah, you can kind of see it. All right, sorry about that, you guys. Working on getting a new computer. Yes, a lot of times that is it. We use the same crystals. The energies work, you know. Hi, Create Design. Hi. The energies work within the cards. Same cards work with some. No, it's the cards. Huh, weird. Are you having deja vu, Sam? Are you having deja vu? I wonder if you are learning tarot in another version of yourself, like in another dimension version of yourself, parallel. That's what deja vu is, kind of basically. Yeah. So when we experience deja vu, this is actually us coming into contact with another dimensional version of ourselves in a parallel, because everything's happening in the now. In your dreams, yeah, and that's our dreams going into sleep state, going into our dreams, we're going into another dimension. So that makes total sense. Yeah. Oh, yes. You want me to show you my Super 7, Garnet? I have to jump up and go get it. It's pretty special. Okay, first of all, with a Super 7, you absolutely have it. You don't have to, but it works best if it is gifted to you or finds its way into your life. A lot of times people will purchase a Super 7 and it doesn't really work or jive with them. But let me go show you. I'll go grab it real quick and show you what that looks like. Okay, I am wearing I have a thing wrapped around me right now, and I've got like an ice pack back there. If you guys wondered what that big lump was. Okay, this is a Super 7, and this was gifted to me by somebody extremely special and important in my path. I'm going to real quickly 12:12 on the clock right now, guys. That's 33. That's this. Okay, and that's also our guides and our angels. Oh, I got goosebumps. So the Super 7 is a combination of 7 different minerals. I always have a hard time remembering. There's one specific one, feldspar. I always have a hard time remembering that one. Let's open this. Can you see that though? Okay, so it's amethyst, clear quartz, smoky quartz, rutile, goethite, lepidocrosite. So it's hard to say those ones, but it is a combination of 7 minerals that when they are compressed and packed together and work together as a singular energy, it is very powerful. But my Super 7 won't work for you. Does that make sense? They pair to you. It's almost like they imprint onto you. That's why it's kind of important how it comes into your life. So like my Super 7 will do the work for me, but energetically it's dead for everyone else. I'm sorry, what was that? What begins with A? You'd love one? Oh yeah, they're so, it's such a unique energy when it is the energy. How do I say this? It's part your own. It's part your own energy. So it's so strange when you integrate your own energy into the collective energy that it is, and it becomes tailored to you. It's amazing. Like one time I lost this, my cat knocked it down and it rolled underneath my table. And it would just so happen that it just butted up against the leg. So I couldn't see it. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked everywhere and it was just weird. I couldn't find it. Well, I was doing a meditation and I asked in my meditation, I asked my crystal, where are you? What happened to you? Where did you go? And it showed me in my mind exactly where it was. I literally got up and walked over and picked it up. So the connection is amazingly strong. I have a strong connection with a lot of my personal pieces, but with the Super 7, it's something else. Yeah. Pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. Okay, let me put that away. Pretty special. So Maribel, or sometimes on here she goes by YouTube Grandma. She's actually the one who gifted me my Super 7. I think it's been about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. Yeah. So that tells you how long I keep my connection with my people here. So yeah, we were experiencing some big changes, and at the time we were getting ready to move. My son had come home to stay with us for a while. He had just begun his sober journey, and so we were moving, and it was just a lot going on. And basically her intention for me with this was for me to be able to let go of everything behind me and embrace what was in front of me. And it did help with that quite a bit. And when I left that place, I literally sealed the door off with this. I sealed the energies, anything negative, low vibrational, or contributing to anything negative or low vibrational towards my son or my husband or myself. I sealed it off from being able to follow us using this. And it was very powerful. It did work. So sort of like the chakra 7. Yeah, sort of. Yeah. They're individual energies, but they change as they become one. So with the 7 chakras, that's a different energetic feeling per each energy center. But with the Super 7, it's a whole new energy, if that makes sense. So yeah. Okay, anyways, the Judgment card today, you guys, I didn't bring that many of them in. I just brought the ones that I thought were interesting and pretty. The Judgment card is about resurrection and rebirth. It's not about starting over from where you're at, okay? It's not about recognizing a need for change or whatever and changing trajectory. It's about a complete ending and rebirth, renewal, resurrection. And as a matter of fact, that symbology comes through on the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, because you see in the Judgment card, you see the coffins, the concrete coffins, and people coming up out of them as the angel in the sky blows her horn down, her trumpet down. The card is also about spiritual awakening. Is Meg here? Your Meg is Libra. Oh, cool. I'm Libra. So Meg, she's all about justice, equality, doing the right thing, fairness, all of that. You're going through a rebirth, Garnet. A lot of us are, honey. A lot of us are. So am I. So am I. It's also about spiritual awakening, the Judgment card. Very much about spiritual awakening. And we will experience spiritual awakenings our whole entire life path. That's something that we will continually encounter, is new awakenings as we learn and ascend. And accountability and answering a higher call. So a lot of times when the Judgment card comes out, that's a message from your guides or your higher self. Pay attention message. But let's break down the symbology real quickly. So we've got Archangel Gabriel blowing a trumpet. The meaning behind that is divine communication, or an awakening call. Then we've got, if you guys are looking at the Rider-Waite-Smith or like the general Judgment card that comes through in most decks, you'll see the white flag with the red cross on it. This is a symbol of healing, again, resurrection and salvation. Also, it's like a victory banner type I'm hearing right now. It's also like a victory, like you carry the red and white stripe. It's like, a victory. I'm the victor in this situation, rising above. The coffin's opening. This is rebirth from spiritual sleep, or rebirth from facing past traumas or karma. And you see the people rising. They're bare, they're naked. So they're bare. That is representing vulnerability, rebirth, releasing, letting go. and the mountains in the background. And that is obstacles that you've overcome before transcendence. So these are all the things, all the work that you've put in before transcendence. When you get the judgment card in a personal reading, if you're doing like a one card pull or a one card pick, it's usually an invitation to wake up to something, or to step into a higher path. A lot of times when the judgment card comes out, you're being asked to kind of self-analyze. What is no longer serving me? What can I shed and make room for more with? And it's a reminder too that it's, when the judgment card comes in, it's a reminder too that it's okay to let old identities fall away. So like, for example, say you identify as a loner. Okay. Hi, bestie. If you identify as a loner, that's what you'll be. You don't have to keep that identity. You can say, I was a loner, but now I'm this. So the judgment card comes in asking you to kind of shed some of those titles you put on yourself, expectations you put on yourself, because it's no longer serving your highest good. And so you're being asked to make a judgment call, basically, and to allow those old identities to fall away, and so that you can embrace the new. Yeah. So the judgment card is planet Pluto, the planet of transformation, death, rebirth, psychological shadow work. So this is stuff that's in your head that you just don't want to deal with, that you need to deal with being brought. It is the fire element, and less commonly noted, but sometimes attributed due to the awakening energy, the fire element in judgment. Pluto in action, deep spiritual cleansing and karmic reckoning. Judgment isn't about external punishment. Okay, so the judgment card is not about going to jail or being put away or being judged guilty or innocent. That's not what the judgment card is about. It's an internal awakening. The judgment card is. It's more when you receive it, it's not like you're like, okay, Noel, I have to decide whether I'm guilty or whether I'm doing the right thing. It's more an internal awakening that's taking place when the judgment card comes in. And of course, you can't unknow what you already know. So that is what the awakening, the judgment card is kind of basically telling you. So it's time to make a judgment call. You know this is not good for you. So you can't unknow that. So you have to deal with that, right? I hope that point is coming across. So that's what I'm trying to say. In the meantime, letting go of any kind of self-shame, guilt, or identities of yourself that no longer serve you, okay? It's okay to be a loner, but let's move on from that. Let's accept that identity, let it go, and move on. We need to constantly be in forward motion. That's what we're here for. The numerology for card 22. This represents a duality, decisions, intuition. So the judgment card kind of coincides with the high priestess card a little bit in tarot, and they have some similar energies and meanings to them, being the intuition and the unseen. As the judgment card is calling you to look further, look deeper. Transcendence needs to take place, so you need to look deeper, make a better judgment call, rejudge it, relook at it. And the high priestess, same with her, using her intuition, but she keeps everything secret. So that's the difference. Okay, so the 0. So we've got 20. So 2 is duality, decisions, intuition, kind of like the high priestess. 0 is divine, infinite potential, and the spiritual cycle. And together 20 is divine choice. So this is what I mean by making the judgment calls that are going to serve you. So 20 is divine choice, or higher intuition meets cosmic reset. So waking up to who and what you are. If you reduce 20, you get 2, bringing in a soft echo of the high priestess, things that are unseen that need to be brought to the light. But it also foreshadows the world card, which is what we're going to be doing next, which is completion. So at judgment, we are one step before completion. So everything matters, what you're calling into judgment. it all, like, completion depends on how you deal with the Judgment card. Okay, and we talked about the crystals. Okay, I'm going to share some ancient mythological associations. We've got Archangel Gabriel, who's the one blowing the horn, and appears, sorry about my crappy camera. Look at how pretty that one is. Isn't that gorgeous? The angel generally appears in all Judgment cards, most of them anyways. This is her higher self, I believe. I love this one because it puts some native in there, and it has the eagle and the bear, and those are ancestors. So isn't that amazing? This one's really cool because it kind of puts a different spin on things. This is very modern. This is Poppy Palin's deck. Poppy Palin is a guide of mine. She used to be inhuman, but she was finished with that journey and moved forward. She's transitioned, but she very much remains present whenever I need her. I can call her in. She's amazing. I even hear her accent in my head. This is the deck she created, and I love this card, the Judgment card, for what you see on here. You see her walking away, and we still have the angel over here in the doorway blowing the trumpet, and she's walking towards him. I love that. She also has the spiral of life. Oops, the spiral of life as a tattoo on her arm. I love that. Here's another one. This is really pretty. It's kind of a steampunky version. But you see the angel, and it's supposed to represent Archangel Gabriel, the messenger angel. In many religious texts, he's the messenger angel. In the Christian book of Revelation, Gabriel sounds the trumpet. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that. I like the native card too. It's amazing. And I don't know how much you guys watch mainstream media or YouTube, like TikTok. I think Instagram, I'm not sure, but I run into these reels or these shorts on TikTok. I think TikTok mostly, where people are saying that they're hearing trumpets sounding in the skies. Have you guys heard of that or seen any of those videos? People have mentioned that they're actually making videos. You can hear it, and it sounds so loud. And they're like, this is coming from the sky, the trumpet. So a lot of people, a lot of the Christians out there are tying that to that book in the Revelations about sounding the trumpets, and that being the final judgment. Like when the last trumpet sounds, that's the final. You've not seen them, Sam? You know what? I think they're more on TikTok. But if you were to go on TikTok and like search trumpet sounds in the sky, all these videos will come up. It's amazing. It's like, what is that? Yeah. So it's tied in. And of course, a lot of the Christians out there are grabbing onto that as confirmation for their book and the Revelations. I don't know how exactly I feel about that yet, so I won't speak on that. But the Egyptian mythology that comes with the Judgment card is the weighing of the heart. The soul's heart is weighed against a feather. If the heart is heavy with the guilt, the soul cannot ascend. This is very much aligned with Judgment's message. So that's what I was just saying. If you can't let go of the shame or the guilt or the things that you allowed to identify yourself with, if you've got to let go of those things. When the Judgment card's coming in, it's telling you, okay, let go of shame, judgment, self-judgment, all of that, because the next step is completion, and you cannot take that next step. You cannot transcend if you're still holding on to those low vibrations. Letting go of them and giving yourself freedom from them is how you're going to move forward. And that's how you're going to ascend. Very great message coming from Egyptian mythology. It's a book I own. I also have another book called Greek Myths, and something in there that kind of tied to the Judgment card was Persephone's return. It's a story. It's a symbol of like seasonal rebirth and spiritual cycles. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before. It's called Persephone's Return. So I don't have that book, but there's lots of reference to it in this other Greek mythology book I have. I'm getting messages. Anyways, many cultures believed in a moment of soul reckoning where the truth of a person's life is laid bare. But judgment, and what they're talking about right there is when you hear people talk about near-death experiences where they go and they're like, get shown their life story and they feel like they're facing judgment. They're going to go and face judgment to God, and he's going to either accept them into heaven or not, right? And let me see. Hi, Sue. It's been being heard for years. Look into the dates. Yeah. It's been being heard for years. Yeah. But anyways, now I kind of lost track of what I was saying. It's not about, okay, I don't necessarily believe that once we transition, we go in front of an entity who then shows us everything we did in our life and then judges us on what choices we made. That doesn't resonate for me at all. I don't think that's how it works. But, that's just my own personal opinion. Judgment should never be made about fear or intimidation, because then it's defeating its own purpose. It's about freedom. That's what judgment is about. It's about freedom. Because once you make that judgment call to let go of what's no longer serving you, then you've achieved some freedom from it. And from facing yourself, freedom from facing your own self and the things that you are no longer serving you. I'm going to show you a couple more cards here. This is so pretty. I thought maybe there was an angel on this, but I guess not. But you still see the sunbeams coming down. There's that one. This is from my brand new deck, you guys. I just uploaded an unboxing video the other day. I got this deck, and it's the Unifying Consciousness. Oh my gosh, I recommend it. I recommend it. I recommend it. It's good for beginners and seasoned readers. I recommend it. It is inclusive, all inclusive of everything. And I think that's why they named it Unifying. But amazing, amazing deck. Here's the Judgment card for that deck. And she's got the Merkaba above her head, which is transcendence. And she's standing on the eye. What's she got in her arms? She's got bags in her arms or something. Isn't that pretty, though? The Merkaba is a vehicle of transition, if you guys don't know that yet. Okay. I have one more to show you, and it's kind of odd. This is odd. I don't know how this doesn't really make sense to me, but maybe it might make sense to you. So I got this tarot deck called the Tarot of the Unexplained, and they've switched up the names completely all through it. For card 20, which would be Judgment, they've got the Men in Black. So I'm not exactly sure. Can I set this up right here? No, that's not going to work. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm going to read it real quick and see if we can figure it out. So for Judgment, they're giving us Men in Black. Feeling on edge, feeling judged or watched, or avoiding situations where you think you may be judged by others, being overly shy. So the phenomena, this deck is so odd. It comes with the upright, the reversal, and then a phenomena, because it's about aliens and cryptids and stuff, right? The phenomena says strangers appearing in your locality, UFO sightings with multiple witnesses. So I don't know how that ties into Judgment. I really don't. Arriving shortly after most UFO sightings, the Men in Black appear randomly to witnesses, intimidating them and attempting to silence them from revealing their experience. Picture the scene in The Matrix when Neo first encounters Agent Smith at his job. That sense of being trapped by emotionless government agents, the Men in Black. We've all felt it. Appearing in court, applying for a loan, your boss asking you to have a seat during a week of layoffs, borrowing someone's car and wrecking it. These situations put us on edge, make us feel judged, helpless, and defensive. You may be having trouble sleeping and not know why. That fear is unfounded. So basically, this one is the Men in Black come to judge the situation, I guess. I don't know. I was curious about it, and I grabbed it last second. That kind of doesn't really go, does it? It's okay. The most bizarre, oddest tarot deck. Interesting, though. Interesting. Very different. Okay. So do you guys have your notebooks and your pens and stuff out? I'm gonna ask you guys to do like a little exercise with me. So start by taking a deep breath. Slowly take a deep breath. And then slowly let it out. Okay, you guys, I want you to close your eyes and imagine that you're hearing a trumpet calling you to wake up. Okay? A higher version of you, imagine a higher version of you is calling. What are they asking you to release? What are they inviting you to step into? So as you sit in that moment, after you exhale, listen for the trumpet. That spirit symbology for acknowledgement. I'm listening for it. Okay. It may come in a form of goosebumps because I'm getting the goosebumps, but I'm not hearing anything. So it may come in a form of goosebumps. A higher version of you is calling. What are they asking you to release? So what are you being asked to release in this moment in your life? Just note down whatever it is that is no longer serving you, what you're being asked to release, and what you feel inside is holding you back, that you may be stuck on. Judgment card comes out asking you to reevaluate, not to shame yourself, not to feel like you're failing at something, not to feel like you're not good enough, none of that. Just simply shed what's no longer serving you. That's the judgment call, to shed. You need to decide, make that judgment call. What's good for me? What's not good for me? And then you can make a decision on that. A car beeped. Let me see what Sue said here. Love and caring should never make you scared. And I don't believe in actual hell, neither do I. I think you're placed in a life after you leave this one, and you must improve because to not is the hell. So my opinion on that, Stu, is that a lot of times we will actually co-contract with other souls to do like what I call sets of lifetimes, because we can't always get everything done with it. We're given free will, and it gets us lost many, many times throughout our path. Our free will pulls us off our path, or we get lost in our free will. And that gives way to the ego, and people get stuck in their ego. So I do feel like we come here with a plan, but everything's happening in the now, so we kind of already know how it's going to go when we come. I do not believe that heaven nor hell are specific places. My spiritual understanding for heaven is that it is the God source energy. It is returning to the source energy, God source. God source energy is everything, but we are made into human beings as fractals of that. So we go back to the God source. We make a new contract, or if we have contracted for a set of lifetimes, sometimes like I'll be your mom this time, and then the next lifetime you'll be my cousin, and then the next lifetime you'll be my dad. And because there's certain levels of growth that need to take place in those areas. It's all about growing the soul. It's all about growing the soul. It's all about the experiences that we come here and experience in a low vibrational way that in spirit we can't. And we take that back to God source. So then he expands. It expands, right? With the knowledge we've brought back. And that's the whole name of the game. My thought is you go back to where you are from and do another mission. Yes. And if you're not trying to fulfill a set of lifetimes, if you're just here for a singular experience, I believe you're given a choice. Yeah. If you want to come back, if you feel like there's more to be had, more to be learned. I do feel like that some souls come down here, and that's just such a figurative way of down here is not necessarily down here, because we're dimensionally together. There's no, anyways, when we incarnate as human beings, it's very hard on on our souls. It's very hard on our vibration. Because we come from a higher vibration, and sinking down here, it's like being blindfolded with your arms and legs tied and thrown into the ocean for a soul, a high vibrational soul. And depending on what you've chosen or picked for your lifetime, what goals that you put in effect for yourself, because if it was as easy as I want to start this lifetime, I want to do this, and this. If it was as easy as that, it wouldn't be a full experience. No, we have to come in here with the goal of meeting this, and this, but we've got free will. So we got to see how we're going to get there. And so that's when you co-contract with other souls and say, hey, if you see me going off track, I need you to pop in some way, shape, or form and put me right back. And so we'll contract with other souls in that way. Sometimes we'll meet somebody and we'll meet them for 5 minutes and they're gone. Sometimes somebody will come into our life and they'll be in our life for 2 months, stir a bunch of stuff up and leave. I mean, it's all bump contracts to help re-steer us back into our goal. But sometimes we really, really, really get off track and we don't complete our mission, what we came here to do. So then, yes, I believe we do turn around and come right back and try to go ahead and finish that mission so that we can go forward from there. One saying that my grandma used to share with me all the time is, face it now, take care of it now, handle it now, because it'll just keep coming back if you don't. The lesson will just keep having to be relearned in different ways. So you'll just be putting yourself through it over and over and over again. Yeah. So grandma used to tell me all the time, face the hardships, don't avoid them, don't belittle them. Face the hardships, get everything out of those hardships that you actually need, because the hard parts of our life are actually the parts of our life that we're growing the most. We might think that we're thriving in happiness and peace and abundance, and we have everything so great in our life and nothing's going wrong and everything's wonderful. That's great. That's a wonderful reprieve. That's what that is, because the growth is happening when we're struggling. So that's actually like the growth is actually taking place during the struggle, and it's so necessary. The struggles are so necessary. Otherwise, we just come down here to take a nap for a lifetime, because our souls aren't going to move much if we're content. Does that make sense? We get put on paths and it's a choice every time till we pick the right choice. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where your guides come in also. And that's where the guides come in, and that's where we put our trust and our faith in our guides, that they are going to lead us in the right direction. But you also have to work through your own intuition as well. Listen to the gut feelings, and your guides. And if you ask your guides to help, if we actually reach out to the angels and to our guides and say, look, I'm stuck in this situation. I've been there before. I really don't know which way to turn. Sometimes it might feel like we don't necessarily get the answer right away. Sometimes there's a delay. And the reason for that, in my opinion, is because there's something that we need to face or work out that we're avoiding. We cannot go forward if that is in the pathway. It's going to hold you back or have a low vibrational connection to you that will keep you from going forward. Does that make sense? Going to begin listening to native Navajo music while meditating. Sound chanting at the right frequency. Different way to channel your way. I love that for you, Dean. Yes, my son was Native American. I live streamed his viewing, and and you can find it on my on my Facebook. And it was all Native American music. My son's Native American name was Buffalo Warrior. He was given his Native American name from a Native American ancestor, of Buffalo Warrior. And so, yeah, and I played the flutes and all those native flute music and all of that. When he was a baby, we used to go to powwows, and it's the drumming. I love the drumming so much. Drumming, I actually integrate drumming into my meditation practices. Yeah, I think that's amazing, Dean, that you're going to be doing that. I love Native American music. I'll send Lisa I'll send Lisa some links to some really good YouTube channels that play some really good spiritual music, Native American music. Okay, let me see. Where are we going next? Okay, the key meanings. I'm experiencing a lot of pain in my back, so I'm kind of going to rush through this last 15 minutes, you guys. I don't know if you can notice I'm kind of stirring around a bit. Okay, so the upright meanings: awakening, for upright awakening, redemption, self-forgiveness, rebirth, and a spiritual awakening or a spiritual call. Reversed: doubting your calling, fearing change, avoiding responsibility, resisting the closure or the shedding, or just allowing yourself to stay stuck. The Judgment card is a bridge between endings and new beginnings. It's not a spot where you just start over from here and go forward and bring with you everything. This is where you stop, let go, shed it all, whatever is no longer serving. Even if you really love it, that's the ego. Shed it out, because you have one more step to take, and that's completion. And you cannot do that if you're holding on. And answering the call, answering the call of the trumpet. And so when your trumpet calls, that's a, I was watching this one lady on, I think it was the Facebook Reels, doing a reading, just like a collective reading for the collective. And she made like a really good point. And she said, we need to be listening for our trumpets. We need to always be having an ear out for our trumpets, because the trumpets calls is a call to action through awakening. And that action meaning the shedding, meaning the introspection, meaning the shadow work. So the way she had worded it, it was really cool. Like, we should all be listening for our trumpets. And whenever you hear the trumpets, and I don't know if figuratively you're going to hear a trumpet, you might. Energetically, hearing a trumpet for me is like a voila moment, right? I think a voila moment. That's what I was supposed to understand about this thing, or that's what the meaning was. Okay. Like an alignment, a voila. But she was saying we should all be listening right now in this time, the way that the planet is ascending and the frequencies, and with all the solar flares, the Schumann resonance, the way it is, we should all be listening for our trumpets, our wake ups, because we're getting close to an ending of a cycle here. A new earth is happening as we speak, parallel to us. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be stuck in this one. I'm ready to move on to a higher frequency existence. This place has gotten pretty bad. So we should be listening for our trumpets is the message that came through. And that is the little awakenings, the little realizations. Yeah. So is there anything anyone wants to add? I was going to do a little assignment. Where did that go? Okay, if you guys want to do a little assignment in your notebook, you can reflect on a time in your life where you felt like you were being called, reflect on a time in your life when you feel like the Judgment card would be called into action. So like, pretend you just pulled the Judgment card. Reflect on what it is that you're being called to change or awaken. Even if it was, you can do this in a past tense as well. So like, think about a time in your life when you were faced with the decision, you had to make the decision. You couldn't push it away. You couldn't take your time. You had to make the decision. Even if it was really hard and you were called into that action, write 1 or 2 paragraphs about what that trumpet call looked like for you, what needed to be let go of, and what was reborn out of that. And then as a bonus, you can do a 1-card reading asking what part of myself is ready to rise from the ashes, because that's another thing with the Judgment card. Where'd that one native one go? Because that one really shows it. So, oh, I guess it's an eagle. I was thinking that was a phoenix for a second. I forgot it's an eagle. I thought it was a phoenix. I see the phoenix. Like I see the phoenix with the trumpet. I see not the trumpet, sorry. I see the phoenix with the judgment card. Because it is a rising out of the ashes. It is a resurrection. So I see that correlation strongly. So where's your phoenix in the situation? What part of your experience is ready? What part of you is ready to rise? Okay, guys. I'm having a really hard time concentrating because I'm experiencing a lot of pain in my back. I didn't want to take a pain pill and come on here and look inebriated or so I guess I'm just going to look like I'm in pain. I thank you, Sam. I thank you. Unfortunately, I can't tolerate like strong pain medication. I would rather put ice pack on my back and take some Advil than be bent over the porcelain goddess vomiting, because my body does not like that stuff. It rejects it. Let me just check in here before I leave you guys and make sure. Enlightenment for all is this path we seek. Yes. Thank you for sending healing, Sam. Thank you, Lisa. Get some ibuprofen. I take what's called Advil Duo, which is basically a combination of ibuprofen and Tylenol together. Works pretty good. But I haven't taken it yet today. So I just wanted to come on here with a clear mind and not have anything. I feel like when I take medications, sometimes it can open me up to things to where I don't feel like I'm fully in control of my energy, if that makes sense. But you can't have ibuprofen. Neither can my bestie. It's terrible. It kills her stomach. So yes, on the path we seek, the judgment call or the judgment card comes out to ask us to shed what's no longer serving, make those judgment calls, listen to your trumpets, make those judgment calls, shed what's no longer serving, because we are almost to a completion. We are one step away. But you can't take that step if you're holding on to things that no longer serve you. So I'm looking into different areas in my life, looking for things that no longer serve me or that may be possibly harming my path inadvertently. That could come in the form of people, habits. I noticed one thing in myself, which I'll share because I do not mind bearing myself. I am a transparent person. Sorry about the sirens in the background. I live in a big city and there's a hospital down the street. So anyway, so for me, what happens is I get hyper focused on things and I can go overboard. So like, for example, this stupid TikTok thing, I figured out the algorithm and I started making sales and I started kind of figuring out how to do it. And I started catching myself completely absorbed in it all the time. Like even I would be outside having taking a walk with my dog and my husband, and I would catch my mind going to, oh, that would be a good place to get some footage, or oh, that would be a great intro into the next video, or maybe I could, you know what I mean? Like it's intruding into my world when I'm not even there, if that makes sense. And that's because I'm allowing that. So we all have aspects of ourselves we need to go and switch up, shed, change, realign, whatever it is that we need to do to make sure that whatever is left is only serving our highest good. So I have to have more moderation when it comes to that platform. When I put it down and put it away, it needs to be put away and left, and not pieces of it being taken with me in the other parts of my life, if that makes sense. And there's lots of other things I'm working on too. We're all, every single one of us, a constant work in progress from the moment we get here. And the Judgment card comes in just to say, hey, are you looking at all the aspects of yourself and keeping the good stuff and letting go of the bad, because we're almost done here. So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me today. Did I make it? I'm 5 minutes off. Does anybody have anything they want to say about the Judgment card before we leave? How maybe the Judgment card plays a part in your life right now? What are you being called to examine, let go of, realign with? Anything like that? No? Okay. You feel your change is coming this week. Okay. Okay. You feel like there's a change about to happen. Thank you, Lisa. I will. I have a question though, you guys, real quickly. Do you guys notice that if you have animals, have you guys noticed your animals acting strange? Have you noticed any difference in the way your animals are acting? My animals, I have a cat and a dog. They are acting so strange. My cat is literally going around the house howling. Like, he used to only do it at one certain time of day, and it was literally the time of day that my son transitioned. But he's doing it constantly now. And I mean, it's like a deep howl, it's like frightening sound. Like, are you okay? Are you hurt? And it's weird. He just does it. He's been doing it more and more and more. And your dog's, and so is mine. Very clingy, fearful. He seems fearful. Like, I'll take him outside. We've been here for 2 years. He goes and pees on the same bush every time. But lately, I take him out there, and it's like he's on edge, and he just wants to go straight out there and pee and go straight back in the house as fast as he can. If he hears any sound at all, he will abandon midstream and head back. So it's very strange. There's a park that we go to where we go and walk him, and it seems like that's the only place where he's acting normal. Like, he loves being there and he kind of acts his normal self. But when we come back home, both of my animals are acting so weird. They can feel something. Yes. I mean, I actually thought that my dog was trying to alert me of a seizure the other day. He was being so strange, being so clingy, and he just comes and sits by my feet, and he just looks up at me like, I'm like, if I could just read your mind, if you could just speak, because I could tell he's trying to tell me something. It's crazy. And your dog has an increased appetite? Oh, that's interesting. And your cats are howling too, and they're hiding. What is going on? Something with the frequencies. It's a big change too. It's not a minor. It's a big, like, they're not acting right. My dog normally sleeps at my head, on the pillows of our head, in between my husband and I. So he sleeps here. He's sleeping under the bed all night long. He's going and hiding under the bed and sleeping under us, under our heads, but under the bed. Ginger's here? Hi, Ginger. Hi. Nice to see you. I need you to give me your address. If you can private message me, Ginger, so that I can send that tarot deck to you. You're the one that wanted it, right? I'm good. I'm doing good. It's so nice to see you. We're kind of all done with the class. We talked about the Judgment card today. And main message is introspection, choosing what no longer serves the highest good, making those judgment calls for the highest good. Yeah. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, I finished doing the little video I had to do at my obligatory video for the tarot deck that they sent me that you want to see? I can't use this. I hope you can, Ginger. I hope that it's like amazing for you and you love it. But these cards are see-through and I don't understand them. I don't like it. It's not for me. It was a TikTok thing. I did my obligatory video on it. And so I'm going to send them off to you, sister. They're definitely not meant to be with me. But the new deck that I just got, the Unifying Consciousness, oh my gosh, look at the eye. I love it. It's my new favorite. Dean Coaster deck. Yeah, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. Okay, well, my friends, I think I'm going to pop off. I definitely need to go and replace my ice pack with a new one and take some ibuprofen and rest. I will be having, they're going to do a course of steroid injections into my spine above and below the lesion to try to boost for it to heal. It is just my nervous system attacking itself. But when you have MS, you can't have spinal surgery. So doing a neck surgery is very risky. The chances of exasperating and causing more lesions to form is like 75%. So the steroid injections are kind of my saving grace right now. I'm hoping that's going to bring me some relief from the pain. I'm also going to go see a chiropractor because there's a possibility that there's pinched nerve here in the neck that may be contributing. I'm just going to try. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reset my nervous system every single day as soon as that crystal harp gets here. I'm going to reset my nervous system and recalibrate the electricity in my body so that the healing can actually take place in the right places, in the right way. And the energy is directed to the places it needs to be to do the healing. So, and it'll be here anytime. I'm so excited. And I'm going to, and for all of you guys that helped me, yes, absolutely nerve therapy. That's exactly what it is. 100%, Dean. Yep. And you know what? The lady that I purchased my crystal harp from, she cured herself of lupus. She cured herself of lupus. That's the reason because of that is why I went and researched the crystal harp frequencies and what they can do and what the different crystal harp frequencies can do. When I heard her come and tell her story about how she recalibrated her own nervous system every single day until it just started happening on its own. She using that crystal harp. I was like, I have to have one. That's the answer for me. The MS is the nervous system attacking itself. That's the answer for me. I know it is. I know it is. That's going to heal my MS. So be it, and so it is. Right, guys? That's going to heal me. So it's just a matter of a few days. It'll be here, and I can get working on that. I'm excited. I have such a good feeling about it. I literally have such a good, resonating with it. I know it's going to work. I know it is. I know it will, Lisa. I know it is. And you guys helped make that happen. I love you guys so much. Thank you so, so much. I met that goal in less than 24 hours because of you guys. You guys are amazing. You are my family. And I will forever offer you free healing sessions with that forever. I'm going to come on and do free healing sessions for everyone, but I will do one-on-one forever. There's no limit or cap on that. For sure. No, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. And we keep coming back here and reconnecting with each other, and we're healing each other. And that's amazing. Priceless. Okay, my lovely soul family, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I need to go get a new ice pack on. Yes, I'm okay. So Ginger, actually real quickly, that made me think of something. Check it out. I sold 2 more of my Reiki palm rings, customized. One person wanted black obsidian on his, and this girl wanted turquoise and amethyst on hers. This is how I mail them out so they don't get bent up. Pretty smart, huh? Yeah, these are popular, man. People are buying these up. and they work. Have you guys seen my video where I moved my, I was able to pull my black obsidian sphere towards me? You got a turquoise bangle? Ah, turquoise is very revered by the Native Americans. Yeah, and true turquoise is kind of hard to find nowadays. A lot of times the turquoise that you get that you think is turquoise is actually like dyed howlite, like white howlite dyed. They try to pass it off. Thank you so much for the positive thoughts, Jane. Thank you guys so much for all the positive energy. And thank you guys for collectively sending positive energy to Garnet. Well wishes for him. I'll be praying on the 27th for him. For sure. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I know that yours is pretty much over, Lisa and Dean and Sam. It's late where you're at, I'm sure. But I am lifting you all in divine, abundant, huge, abundant divine love and light and gratitude. Gratitude, so much gratitude. I love you guys. Okay, I'll be back in a few days. Have a great Sunday. And blessed be. I forgot to say blessed be. Blessed be.